I am a follower of von Helton. My name is Monty Corbell, and today I will be responding to von Helton's Morning Coffee 350. Now, the Honorable von Helton's teachings gave us some very interesting insights on something that's been happening on a global scale. In 2012, there was a bioweapon that was developed by DARPA. The US military then weaponized this bioweapon in 2014. And in 2016, with the election of Donald J. Trump, this bioweapon received the stamp of approval for use worldwide. This resulted in the death of 64 million deaths worldwide, accompanied by 200 million people being rendered disabled. And yet, the bioweapon remained in circulation for some time until people of power started to die as well. Politicians, celebrities, people of great wealth, when they were affected by this bioweapon, it finally came time to ban it from circulation. And this, to me, based off of the teachings from von Helton, as I form my own opinions, I would just like to say that this is clearly evidence of good versus evil in the world. That it is the evil people who put this bioweapon into circulation, who allowed for 64 million people to be killed by it. And now, when it starts to affect their own being the people of power, now we have to put an end to it. And it draws attention to just the complete unfairness that we're facing as an existence of people in this world of great class division, where it truly is the people at the top who are against, with a great upper hand, people of lower classes. We as a public watched the effects of this bioweapon take place before our eyes. We watched as children died on the playground. We watched as athletes died on the sports field during games. And news stations would continue to push for the use of this bioweapon even after their own newscasters dropped dead on live television trying to give a report. And there was nothing we could do about it. We couldn't even spread the information about these tragedies taking place. According to the Honorable von Helton, he says that Google and YouTube were suppressing this information. They were reorganizing search queries to make sure this information couldn't be found. They were covering up that this was happening at all. And like in von Helton's teachings, what he said earlier, that it was only until politicians, celebrities, and people of great wealth were affected by this bioweapon that started to change. But it is truly unfair that the people in power let this go as far as it did, that 64 million people had to die, that 200 million people were crippled. And the Honorable von Helton also points out something unusual about the nature of this bioweapon, that there are certain groups of people that seem to be exempt from the effects, that there are groups of people whose children don't develop autism as an effect of this bioweapon being put into use. And these groups include, this list was made by the Honorable von Helton in his teachings of Morning Coffee 350, Mennonites, people of Muslim origin, people of Jewish descent, Amish people, Bill Gates's children, the Rockefellers, Morgans, and Carnegies. And this is quite mysterious now, isn't it? And we could try to uncover the science behind this. We could try to come up with some explanations. We can try to see what these groups have in common biologically and try to draw some conclusions. But Google and YouTube likely are suppressing that type of information from being accessed. And so the people of the public might never know why such a thing took place, why it occurred the way that it did. And the Honorable Von Helton, he points out that Donald Trump stopped mentioning Bill Gates' name almost suddenly, as if something was going on behind the scenes. And now this man is no longer being mentioned. J.D. Vance no longer mentions the name of Bill Gates. No one in the administration brings up his name. Why? And Von Helton, in his teachings, this is how he closes the Morning Coffee 350. He says in 2006, at the University of Texas, an evolutionary ecologist named Eric Pianka was giving a speech where he told the camera crew to turn off the cameras and point them at the ceilings. After they did so, Eric Pianka advocated for an airborne Ebola virus to wipe out 90% of the human population, saying this is how to save the planet Earth. To which the response was a standing ovation, and he received awards for this advocation. Now, there was a staff member of the University of Texas that was present during this speech. His name was Forrest M. Mims III. He reported Eric Pianka to a publication called The Citizen Scientist. And when the Honorable Von Helton read about this, read about the advocation for 90% of the human population to be wiped out to save planet Earth, he did the duty of calling the FBI and told the FBI to investigate this man. And to his surprise, when he turned on the news, he saw that they did. But unfortunately, the investigation led nowhere. Eric Pianka did not get arrested. And although he died in 2022, Von Helton said in his teaching that Eric Pianka should still face the consequences and be arrested. And that concludes my response to Morning Coffee 350.